Mister, if you want to be a future husband, here's a few things you need to know.
I'm just a mother M-I-M-P.
Tell him you'll spend more time with her family than yours.
To even think, again, I don't know where he's got this as a choice. I don't know who Meghan Trainor is. I feel like it's outside of my, like, not being sexist or anything like that, but, you know, I don't keep up with the modern world of pop music, maybe. Do you know what I mean? I feel this is a bit outside my scope of knowledge, so maybe I don't need to know who Meghan Trainor is, insofar as in my life, you know, I'm not expected to maybe know who Meghan Trainor is. But Alan has chosen this. I don't know where he's chosen it from or how, but, like, she's a pop chuffer, yeah. I mean, I've got nothing against pop people, and, like, you know, again, like, I just feel like this isn't my wheelhouse and it's not been promoted to me. So is Alan keeping up to date with all the young pop girls? Is that one of his favourite? Like, he's all right to do that, I suppose, isn't he? But there's just a funny, weird... Do you know what I mean? Alan going on about how he's like, oh, I'm an old man and this and that. And then he's got Meghan Trainor. I'll do a Meghan Trainor cover. It feels like these are very disparate, like, parts of the culture that have now come together. And Alan's brought, like, to the table, I'm going to do my Meghan Trainor cover. So I think... You're saying you think it might be a request thing, yeah. That might be more... That would make more sense to me than Alan knowing who Meghan Trainor is and choosing this. But this song was made a while back, says Sarah. So maybe he's heard it, you know, and he just likes it, you know, on the easy listening station or something. But it feels like a weird choice as well. Like, imagine I was going to do some covers. I'd do a Britney Spears cover, actually. If only you were here tonight, I know that we could make it. I don't know how to live without your love. I was born to make you happy. You're the only one that's in my heart, and I was born to make you happy. It's always and forever you and me, and that's the way our life should be. I don't know how to live without your love. I was born to make you happy. You know, I'll tell you what's great about it as well is even if you don't sing it the best or whatever, you don't sing it like Britney, do I? So, you know, you make that song your own, you have a bit of a razz, and everyone knows that. So if you play, like when I used to play that, I've only played a couple of little guitar sets here and there, but that one people will sing along to. Remember when Darius did it?
Give me a sign, hit me baby one more time.
Let's see what Alan's done.
Mister, if you want to be a future husband, here's a few things you need to know. If you want to be her one and only all your life, never ever say she's wrong. Always say sorry. Never sleep on an argument.
Is this the actual... Hang on. She's all about the bass. Oh, I do know who she is now. All about that bass. About that bass. No treble. So there's a sort of... she's almost like, I would say, like a cross between Amy Schubert and pop music. There's a sort of knowing, comedic, like, cheekiness to it, isn't there, in her songs? So I get that. So perfect, husband... Lyrics... Take me on a date, I deserve a break, and don't forget the flowers every anniversary, because you'll treat me right. I'll be the perfect wife, buying groceries, buying what you need. You got that 9 to 5, but baby, so do I. This is misogynistic in itself. Don't be thinking I'll be at home and baking apple pies. I've never learned to cook, but I can write a book. Sing along with me, sing along with me. That's a bit more modern, but you know, you could also have a job like yourself. You don't have to be at home. Like, the husband is not the only one with the job. You know how to treat me like a lady, even when I'm acting crazy, which is again misogynistic because, crazy women. But yeah, tell me everything's all right. Like, sometimes this happens in culture. I know she might be taking tongue-in-cheek, this person, this Meghan. I'm not judging her too much. I don't know much about her. But in culture, there's this whole thing of like self-objectification. Like, it's okay because I'm doing it to myself. So it's not sexist because I'm doing it to myself. But it kind of like feels like an internalisation of the patriarchy here, like regurgitated in 2023. So I don't jive with this really, but some of it is nearly and the other is not. Go on then, just one of these.
Dear future husband, here's a me. Sing along with me. Hey, you gotta know how to treat me like a lady.
It makes me feel like I'm listening to he never washed up, he doesn't washed up, he never cleaned up, no, he never cleaned up, he doesn't washed up, he doesn't washed up, he does nothing, the boy does nothing. Yeah, it's not offensive, but it doesn't quite wave the flag for feminism in the way it might think it does. Okay, so what's Alan saying?
Mister, if you want to be a future husband, here's a few things you need to know.
Alicia's work flies the flag for feminism a bit more, doesn't it? Like the great thing about Alicia was that she was part of a group and she outgrew the group, and it wasn't the boys in the group that went on to the big, super career and the man. It was the one with the talent and the voice. So
if you want to be her one and only all your life, never ever say she's wrong. Always say sorry.
Never say she's wrong. Always say sorry, even if you don't mean it. These are like techniques rather than like good advice. These are like techniques on how to manipulate a woman.
Never sleep on an argument.
I don't know about that one, right? I used to believe that. I used to say that. I used to have an argument with my... long time ago when I was young, like when I was like in my teens, I used to say, look, I don't want to leave this on an argument. Can we fix this before we have to part or go to sleep, or, the same principle. And that was a bad idea, because what it is sometimes, people need some space and some time. And you're like not giving them any space and time to like... We can sleep on the argument because like you might feel differently tomorrow. It might not be such a big thing, or some space and stuff. They might not want to just argue it out till the small hours. Like they might be at the wit's end or whatever, but you still want to talk about it. I'm still not finished with it, so we're not going to sleep on the argument. Like, so it's a colloquial old wives thing that, okay, maybe some marriages, if you're both on the same tip and you both say, look, let's not go to bed until we fix this issue, and then we can just forget it for tomorrow. We don't have to talk about it again. And you're both on that, fine. But the lever by the misogynist here is, we're not going to sleep on the argument, therefore you're not allowed to stop arguing with me, or I'm going to not stop badgering you, because you're not allowed to sleep, because not allowed to sleep on an argument. So there you go. Get up and argue with me. Like, that's not right.
Chicks are crazy.
Did you say chicks are crazy?
Chicks are crazy.
Chicks are crazy.
Oh yeah, they're crazy. But don't...
That's the dog whistle of the narcissist. Every relationship they have had, and I'm quoting my learning from Steve here, every relationship they have has failed because the woman has been crazy. A litany of, again, I use the word litany again, I'm using my same words twice about Alan now, but lots of failed relationships, and it's always the chicks are crazy, women are crazy.
Tell them they're crazy.
Tell them they're crazy.
Tell them they're beautiful, tell them they're lovely.
Alright, don't tell them that. Tell them, again, so this is one of the finest pieces of Alan material that I've ever found. You can get away with saying it's a joke, tongue-in-cheek, but this is like how to treat a woman, 1950s edition.
But don't tell them they're crazy. Tell them they're beautiful, tell them they're lovely, tell them they're right. Tell them you're a naughty boy and you won't do it again.
Perfectly like a narcissist, demeaning, undermining even the offence. So tell them they're correct. Don't tell them that you're a naughty boy and you won't do it again. You're a naughty boy. So they thought it was bad that you cheated on them, but it's just naughty and you won't do it again. And you're not crazy. Oh no, you're right. Yeah. I'm a naughty boy. That's awful. Set to the tone of this upbeat and cheerful pop music. Terrible misogyny set to the tone of this upbeat and cheerful pop music. I did a song like that once. So this is misogyny set to an upbeat track. Like it's supposed to be. Like, it's not supposed to be me singing it. It's supposed to be a character singing it. So I sing it in a funny voice. But I hope that comes across and you don't think like some awful misogynist. But it's supposed to be funny in a way. But it's dark. So I'm going to play it, even though you might go, oh. But you'll see why I've given the disclaimer. Let's hear it.
What are you, stoned or stupid?
This is me.
What are you, stoned or stupid?
Well, it's supposed to be a character, but it's me.
Well, this one's about a girl I knew. Let's say for argument's sake, she's a big bitch, real good looking though, the kind of girl make
Kansas anymore.
That is important at the end there, the Toto. I'm feeling we're not in Kansas anymore, because it is a dirty track, isn't it? And it's obviously, I've done the comedic voice. It's from the perspective of some, like, I don't want to use the word incel these days. We're not supposed to. It's poking fun at people or whatever. Like, but it's from the perspective of some, like, horrible, grimy turd boy who is angry at a woman because she won't go out with him or doesn't want him back. So he calling her a slag and all this, like, all this stuff. So it's like a character song. It's like a. Do you know what I mean? Like when you write a song, but it's not you. It's like of a story of something else. That's not me. I don't feel like that. It's okay. Don't worry. But it's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be funny. Specifically, a fine wine and 2 rye hypnol, dump her body in the river in a bin bag. I thought that was quite a good lyric. A fine wine and 2 rye. It's supposed to be like a serenade. You know what I mean? Like a fine wine and 2 rye hypnol, dump her body in the river in a bin bag. You know what I mean? Like so there's a comedy aspect to it. And then the Toto We're Not in Kansas Anymore is because I was going to put it on an EP, and I was like, how do I explain like that? What the fuck is going on here? So that's why it says that at the end.
Toto? I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
No, that was certainly not. We're not in Kansas there. No. Sleep to Chance to Dream says, I finished with my ex after a lot of consideration. He begged and convinced me to take him back. I felt sorry for him, so I thought I'd try. He dumped me a week later just so he could dump me. Twat.
They wear looks great. Tell them you'll spend more time with her family than yours.
I'll tell you what would be good for this one is if I just cut them all up as individual segments and put them on the soundboard, and I'll say, and here's Alan for a little quick piece of advice, and we'll just get them one little, one line at a time in the streams.
Tell them you'll spend more time with her family than yours.
Yeah, new Tippy jingle. It's actually like hassle for me to do that because I haven't got the music production software that does that sort of thing on this computer. I've got construction software. I construct my own stuff, but ripping it and moving it around is on the old computer. So all my old editing goes. I've moved systems basically, and I used to be much more offline. Editing, constructing offline, and then uploading. Now I'm online, and I probably could handle it on this computer, but I don't quite know how. But yeah. Music manipulation and all that, it should be quick and easy, but for me it's going to be a little bit of a chore, but I can get it done. Yeah, and I do want a range of different Tippy sounds so that we can rifle through them as well. Maybe these are those.
Even treat her like a lady, even when she's acting crazy.
God. Oh my God, like we're doing this now. I'm going to have to upload this as a video to YouTube. Like, oh no, I'm going to have to upload this. I'm going to have to clip this and upload this as a video to YouTube because I need to share it with the wider world.
Tell her everything's all right. Mr. Future Husband, here's a few things you need to know if you want to be a long-lasting lover.
Does Alan still have a romantic partner in his life? No.
If you want to get that special loving, just say, God, you look so good tonight.
Just say, God, you look so good tonight. And that makes them cream their knickers. They can't. And actually, to be honest, Alan's actually got a point here. Is saying nice things to people makes them feel good about themselves. That is true. But doing it in a hostile way to achieve sex, it's not. I just think maybe you should just tell people that they look great because you feel that they look great, or even, do you know what? Even you feel like you might want a boost. Like you might not want to shag them, but you might want to give them a boost. Oh, I love your hair. I love the way. Is that a new pair of shoes? Like, it's nice to be nice to people, isn't it? But if you want to have sex with your wife, then telling her that she looks great tonight, particularly now, right now, you look great now, give me the sex. Like, that seems a bit.
Just say, God, you look so good tonight.
I imagine, do you think he practices these, right? Yeah, I imagine, right? I thought you meant the sex moves. I thought you mean the song. He thought you meant that song. I imagine he just goes first take and just gets the first take. He hasn't got time to mess about. And I thought the sex moves. I can imagine now Alan coming up to you, me, us, anyone, going up to you. Like, this is how it'd work. He'd get up with you and he'd like grab your bum or whatever, and he'd be like, "Oh, you look sexy tonight." And it's not that this always works for sex. It's just that the woman in his life thinks this is now Alan wants sex. Like, she knows it. She's not in any confusion here. And either she has to give in or, like, you know, come up with some reason, and Alan's going to be like, "Oh, but yeah, I want this," and she's been there before. Like, do you know what I mean? So like, exactly, in chat to sleep to chance to dream. But you can imagine that, can't you? Like, he does not sitting there reading the crossword and he looks over and says, "You look a bit of all right." Let that sink in. I'm just going to do 7 down and 7 down. Princely, and look, she's took her top off. That comment is sinking in. "I like your tits." And then 5 across. Word means something. Word 5 across. Oh, bottoms have come off. She's in a nuddy now. She's nearly ready. You know, I don't think it works like that, does it? I think that he's going to be upping in her face. And, "Oh, you look sexy. Oh, you fucking..." And like, it's not that Alan's top tip on how to lure a woman into bed to compliment her on her looks. I don't think it's just a one trick thing, is it? I think Alan, and so I think there's this other. I think they just like have to get. Like, "Oh, I know what Alan wants now."
Good tonight. Wow. After every single fight, apologise, say it was my fault. It was my fault. I'm in the wrong.
After every single fight, if you're having lots of fights, it might not be a good relationship, and you might want to reconsider the situation. Just a possibility for everyone out there. After every single fight, apologise and say it was my fault and that I'm in the wrong. I mean, to be honest, I actually kind of agree with that. Not just for dealing with women, but in general, if after every single fight you have with someone, if you can apologise to them and say, like, legit when you apologise, "Listen, I'm sorry because these things, I feel like I was in the wrong." They like that. It's not just they like it. It's like, it has to be real. You do it, and you don't then say, "But also, I'm sorry I did this and this, but also no, not that. If you show genuine contrition, we've had a fight. I'm sorry. I feel like I was wrong, and this is why. And I hope that you understand that I understand that those things you were saying, I now agree with. I see it. I understand. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to fix it any further than that. I'm going to leave that with you. I know that you're not going to suddenly be like, "Oh, he said it, so it's great." That's not it. But I just want you to know that I appreciate that and I feel like that. You know, that's the way you do that. Yeah. So, but you don't just, as a matter of a rule, just be like, "Yeah, just always say you're wrong. Fuck them. Get them back in the kitchen." Like,
After
what?
every single fight, apologise, say it was my fault. It was my fault. I'm in the wrong. And maybe you get to rock her body that night.
Snip says you can apologise, but you don't walk on eggshells around someone, yeah. And if your apologies work, maybe you get sex. Says Alan. That was an Alan. Alan said that bit.
Even if you're wrong, you know that she's never wrong, right? Why disagree? What can you win?
So for Alan, he's saying even though you know you're not wrong, she's never wrong. So he's always right, but he would always concede that he's not. He'll always lie to your face and say, "No, I think you're right." She thinks she's right, she's wrong. Like, what kind of relationship is this? Where you don't know if the person that you are with, like, trusts you, agrees with you, is telling you the truth about your own opinion and his opinion of you. Like, what the fuck is that about? This is like several levels too much for a proper relationship. You shouldn't be operating like that. If you're doing that, then you're in politics. Like, you shouldn't be doing this, having a relationship. Like, never. Here's a better tip. Scotty's top tips. I feel like I should be getting drunk. I feel like I need to be getting drunk for this. Scotty's top tips. Tell them the truth. Top tips. Tell them the truth. If you've had don't try and make a row continue on after later on. Like, I'm not trying to say apologise just for the sake of it, but do apologise for the things where you feel like, reflect on it and try and see their side of it and apologise. Tell them the truth. Never, ever, never, ever, like, because it's like a manipulation technique, isn't it? Never, ever say that you think that they're right when you think that they're wrong. Because you're lying to the person that you care about most. I mean, okay, certain tiny outside circumstances. Oh, but what about this where it hurts them or this and that? Oh yeah, whatever. But like, you know, in general, don't be doing that. Scotty's top tips. Tell them the truth. That even if it's not exactly what they want to hear, and it's difficult, it's better than making a lie to either cushion it or cushion you or whatever. Like, tell them the truth and let them decide how they feel about the truth, you know?
You've got to know how to treat a lady.
You've got to know how to treat a lady. I think that's a bit... I mean, I'm being really pernickety here because we still talk in that parlance. But I would argue, and I'm not being like, you know, super social justice here, like, you've got to know how to treat a person because, you know, it's not just ladies that you might want to sleep with, Alan. Right? But... And me. Or should I say that? I think Alan wants to sleep with me. Look, anyway, look, it's not just that. The point is, though, you need to treat all people like this. It's not about a bargaining. A relationship is not a different person than the rest. Like, everyone out there deserves respect and to be dealt with in a certain above board, I believe. And this is a problem with our world, and it's difficult, isn't it? 'Cause you can't trust everyone, can you? They're trying to sell you things. They're trying to con you. They're trying to this and that. And did they mean that or did they not? And is he going to text me back? You know, but my view on it is that it's better to treat people honestly and just tell them the truth. And like, oh, we're not having a back and forth on the internet. Oh, I'm not going to hold my cards and all this. But just, you know, tell them the truth and be honest with them. Like, imagine we're on a dating app. This is about relationships, isn't it? You know, if you're on a dating app, like, you know, don't make up a load of shit. Just tell them the truth, and then let them deal with it, and let them have their own opinions. And then that also carries through into the rest of the world, though. So it's not just it's not that when you get into a relationship with someone, this person now requires this different treatment. Like the rest of the world, you would treat with certain kinds of respect, but this person is a different toolkit now because they're in a relationship. It's not that. You get the same respects and, you know, do you know what I mean? I'm the same person with my wife or lover or, you know, girlfriend or whatever you want to term it, because I don't have a wife, but you know what I mean? I'm the same person with that than I am with someone else that's not. The only difference is we have this other added romantic side, don't we? You know, we have this special intimate side. We have the added extra. But the baseline stuff, you know, about not telling the truth or lying to them or manipulating them, I do that with everyone. So this is how to treat a person's. And when persons become like your relation, I don't think it's like you add extra. You have this other deeper layer maybe, but it's not that you throw away the way you normally would treat a person because they're now in your relationship bubble. So I don't have to respect them. I don't have to fucking do that. Like, I think Alan thinks that. I think it's like when you're in a relationship with Alan now, you are no longer like. I think people outside of the relationship will probably get better respect, better treatment than the person within, because you no longer have to deserve those basics. Now you're involved in the manipulation 24/7.
Even when they are crazy, chicks are crazy. Tell the crazy chick everything's all right. Oh, future husband, you need to learn, man. Learn from AD. I've been through.
So he's like, he's suggesting that we should divide. Like we're in a relationship, and we should have a thought divide between you and me, where you are this crazy entity, and I have to manage you, essentially. And my management strategy is to lie to you when it's convenient. That is the worst life advice I've ever heard. And if you're operating on that level, you're better off alone. Obviously, I don't have to tell people not to do that, do I? Like, it's much, much better to like see them as a peer and equal, to treat them like they've got their own views and opinions and they should be listened to and heard. And ultimately, the reason you're with these people is because you care about them and love them and see this good in them, like because you think their personality is worth enjoying, exploring, like not shutting down, bringing out, like. You want to support them. This is another good tip. Scotty's top tip, since we're talking about this. Scotty's top tips on this. Support your partner in everything they do. You're not there to, like, you can be a sounding board and you can help them to assess options and stuff, but you're not there to make their decisions, and you're not there to, like, contradict their decisions. So if they want to quit their job and become a surfer, like, it might not be what you wanted for your life, and you might decide, look, we're going to have to reconsider our relationship, but I will support you in your role as surfer. I will support you. I love you, and if you want to be a surfer, I suppose I will listen to you, and let's get you on these surfboards and get you the lessons. If I don't want to move to the sea and our relationship breaks down because of it, so be it, but I'm going to support you all the way to be you. Like less important, I should break your surfboard and keep you in the house so that you never learn to surf because I'm scared of surfing because it means our relationship might change or something like that. Like, you just support, and help people to make their own, not help them to make their own decisions in terms of influencing them. I mean, you can give your opinions and you can say strongly your feelings. I really would rather you didn't surf because I love the way our life is, you know. But ultimately, you take that part and you put that in your decision-making process and you make your own decision, and I'll support it. That's the main thing, isn't it? Support. So if you're in a good relationship, then that should be like a reflection back to you, and you should feel like, I've been in both healthy and unhealthy relationships over my years, so I know that I was surprised when it was happening as well. I was like, wow, this person's being really supportive. Oh, they've done something really kind, or they remembered what I said about 6 months ago and got me that present for Christmas. And I, you know, things like that, little things like that melted my heart every time because I didn't expect it. But the supportive aspect of like, wow, like, you know, this isn't exactly what I expected you to say you wanted to do, but if that's how you feel, I'm there with you. Like, let's go. Rather than, oh, I didn't expect that to be how you say you wanted to feel. I'm going to contradict it and we're going to have a row about it. Like, what? Like, so yeah, support. You know. If you get divorced and then decide you want to quit your job and be a surfer, unfortunately American law says you may not. If you don't get a prenup, maybe that, yeah. But you know what I mean, like, I'm just talking in generalities, yeah. America's a bit different to us though, maybe in England, but still, yeah, we have all these problems financially when people divorce. You know, these days it's not just taking the CDs, it's not just like, they're my CDs, that's my CD. Get off, that's my CD. I bought that, yeah, but you don't even like them. You only bought it for me. That's my CD. All right, take the CDs. Take all the CDs. Take the CDs and take the tapes as well. And take the fucking posters and take it all. You've ruined my life. You've ruined my childhood. How dare you? You've ruined my childhood. You've ruined my child. I'm doing Greta Thunberg again.
You want to be a one and only? You want to be a one and only? She's always right. Don't leave her lonely. Don't leave her on her own.
Don't leave her lonely is a good one. Agree on that. Don't leave her on her own has a different connotation.
I know you're not going to see your family as much as you're going to see her family. Know that she's sleeping on the left side of the bed. Open doors for her.
Open the doors for her. That is, again, it's not that you need to have this in relationship advice. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or just another person. If you're approaching the entrance to a building and you have control of the handle and there's someone coming the other way, or even someone just right behind you, and you open the door and allow them to pass, that's just general social etiquette that can be, maybe in some places, like in New York, getting on the subway, you know, and you're giving after you, and then after you, and then you can't even get on the train because everyone's just barging past you. Like, I understand that. But in general, I will hold the door for people. Not just for women or the disabled, but people, Alan. But I get it. It's kind of romantic and chivalrous, isn't it, Alan?
Know that she's sleeping on the left side of the bed.
Why the left side?
Open doors for her, and you might get a kiss. Know that she's sleeping on the left side of the bed. Open doors for her, and you might get a kiss.
You might get a kiss.
Don't have a dirty mind. Just have a classy dirty mind. Buy her a ring. Oh yeah, buy her a ring. You've got to know how to treat them like a lady.
So, you might think that's right, Alan, but I tell you what. When you actually are in a relationship and you're like with someone that, you know, you trust and stuff, you can do a bit of filthy things too. You know, you can whip down the pants and pop the tongue up the bumhole. You can do the expected whip down of the pants and pop the tongue up the bumhole. Classy. Stay classy, though, Alan's saying. Get dirty, but stay classy. The ladies don't want to hear whip down your pants and let me put my tongue up your bumhole. The ladies want to hear, like, here's a rosé wine, and would you like to remove your trouser bottoms, and I will place my tongue adjacent to thy bumhole. The ladies want it classy, Alan. The ladies want it classy. Don't just whip down the trousers and straight in with the tongue up the bumhole. What the ladies want, Alan, is some Thornton's chocolates and a foot rub, and then tongue up the bumhole.
You've got to know how to treat them like a lady, even when they're acting crazy. Chicks are crazy. Tell her everything's all right. Dear future husband, here's a few things you need to know about women. If you want one to be your one and only, if you want to get special loving, wear aftershave.
Wash.
Take a bath.
He said it. They're the beautiful moments. They're the beautiful moments. I'm glad you were here for this, everyone in chat. I'm glad you were here for this. They were the beautiful moments. If anyone was watching this on YouTube and they're like, why do we miss the live? This is on Twitch. And I'm supposed to be playing games on Twitch, but now it's been infiltrated by you chuffers. And you all want to see this. So, you know, I bow to the public pressure. And there are a few people who do wait for my Genshin Impact streams. And I bet Crawley's like, what the fuck is going on today? If they're even watching this at this point. But we have got Genshin Impact to play. We've got free time next week where I thought I was going to be playing that dark game. So there'll be time. There'll be time.
Love it. Wear aftershave. Take a bath.
Take a bath. If you want to treat a woman right, observe basic personal hygienes.
Tell her how beautiful she is.
Snippy says, don't wear aftershave. I'll tell you what, I'm up and down with that. I used to have a signature scent, and I would still, in fact, let me just see if I can do that now. Let me just see if that exists. What was it? Aftershave. Do they still call it aftershave, or do you call it cologne or whatever? Yeah, you can still buy it, can't you? Look, yeah, that's my signature scent. If you want to know what I smell like, Amazon now. Oh, I don't want Amazon. That's my signature scent. Why do I click Amazon? That one will do. The concept of a signature scent, I think it's a good idea. It's like but the problem is you have to decide it early when you're young, don't you? Like when you're into all your different smellies and all that when you're young. You know what I mean? When you're like, oh, get the Lynx Africa and mix it with the Lynx Inca and get it and mix it with the Lynx Inca. Like, you know, when you get your Lynx, you know, and you a bit of all that. So, but I used to get Jasper Conran, man. That's my like reasons why it's my signature scent. I went and you know what I'm like. Okay, you know what I'm like already, don't you? So don't think I just didn't go into Debenhams and just be like, pick one off the shelf. I went into Debenhams. I tell you what, there was a lovely girl behind the counter. Me and I'll say her name. She'll get. I hope she remembers. Me and Kate ended up having a relationship, quite a fruity one, and a lovely dinner at a lovely restaurant. A lovely dinner in the cellar room of a lovely, very excellent food, very lovely, good food, very like rich and luxurious food, chocolate puddings, back for some sex. Anyway, the signature scent. I went in Debenhams, you know, I'm talking to the lady, but it's all about how things smell, isn't it? And it's all about like, oh, I like this or I don't like this, or this is fruity and this is like this and that. So I got a good sense of it. And then I think my dad got me some of this or like as a present or something. But once I'd found it, I was like, that's the one I want. That's the way I like. That's the smell. But also what I liked about it, I'll be honest, is it wasn't just like everyone had it like Lynx Africa. You know, it wasn't that. It was a little bit more. It's still on the high street. It's not like, you know, you're getting some exotic, but you know, not everyone smelled like it. So I chose a signature scent.
Say her perfume's fantastic.
Say her perfume's fantastic. Have her wash yourself and say you like the way she smells. Just basically tell her what she wants to hear all the time and then try and shag her.
Say she looks gorgeous in this light. Say you've never met such a beautiful woman. Inside and out, and then you'll be doing it right. Then you'll be doing it right, my friend. Future husbands unite.
Future husbands unite. Call to action at the end there to gather up as a gang. Future husbands, don't take this shit alone. Don't take this shit lying down. Unite. Future husbands, unite against this force that we call womanhood and our spouses. I don't want to be here in this relationship with this woman. I want to unite with the other future husbands so that we can fight against them. I'll tell her what I want. I'll get my sex. I'll make sure she's done my laundry and my lunchbox. And then I'm off with the other future husbands to unite against them. Fuck these crazy women. I'm glad that we've got this system. Unite. Well, united. Future husbands united. Going to Husbands Anonymous. My name's Alan and I've been in a relationship for 14 years. I've been telling her she's right. Have you been telling her she's right? I've been telling her she's right. That's step 1 on the 12-step program. Are you getting the sex yet, Alan? No, she's withholding the sex. She doesn't want to have the sex with me. Really? Have you tried telling her, look, you like the way she smells? Yeah, I've done that. Have you had the wash? Have you done the wash? I've done the wash. She's still not having sex with you. You've done the wash. You've told her you like the way she smells. You've done the wash. Ooh, have you done going up to her and grabbing her around the arse and telling her that, ooh, you look lovely tonight, love? Have you done that? Done that. Done the wash. Done the grabbing around the arse. Done, something's, hang on, is he missing something on his list? She's crazy. You've done the wash. You aftershave. Did you do the aftershave? Links Africa, mate. All over. Links Africa. She's done the wash. Links Africa. You've told her she looks lovely. Did you sleep on a row? Did you sleep on a row? Have you had a row? And you let her get away? Are you monitoring her? Don't leave her on her own. Who's with her now while you're at Husbands Anonymous? She's in the car, like everyone else's wife, of course. Locked in the car like everyone else's wife. Hang on. And they all go over. The husbands go over and roll up the blinds, look out into the car park. All the wives are out there talking to each other. Oh no, we've got a code red. We've got a code red.
I can't take it anymore. What are we gonna do? We got a big problem.
All the wives are talking to each other. There's a code red. He tells you that you're great. He tells me I'm great. Does he? He also wears Links Africa. Get down there. Stop them talking to each other. Someone's going to have to go out the window. This is an emergency. Who wants to go out the window and get it done quick? None of you. None of you. No one's brave enough. All right. We'll get in the lift then. We're all getting in the lift. Alan wants to go first. I know which button to press. I'm the best at pressing the buttons. All right, Alan, you can press the buttons. No, we don't want to go to the basement. Alan, we want to go to the ground floor. It's not the ground floor. It's floor 1. Alan, I should know. I've been operating Husbands Anonymous from this building for several years now. I know which one's the ground and which one's the basement. Alan, we need to go to the ground floor, not the basement. Alan, you're taking us to the basement. I know which buttons to press. I'm the best at pressing the buttons. You shut up, you. I like the way you smell. Alan. See, I told you it was the basement. It's not the basement, it's the fucking... Everyone get out. I don't think we should get out, Alan. It's not the right floor. Alan, everyone get out. Everyone get out. Everyone except for you. You can stay. I like the way you smell. Sorry, Alan, what? 10th floor. Alan, we don't want to go up to the 10th floor. You know you're going to get it. You know you look lovely tonight. With your wig. I'm not wearing a wig. Is it not a wig? I like your fringe. You've always had a nice fringe. I like the way your fringe smells. Alan, do you think maybe you could... Alan?
One single moment of your life. In one single moment.
Did he cough then? Sorry, did he cough then?
One single moment of your life. In one single moment of your life. Men are very good at saying I love you. Let me tell you my story.
Men aren't very good at saying I love you. This is not that Alan has problems with his feelings. This is that it's a man thing. We're getting into the realm of going on too long now. Do you know what? Am I bullying Alan? Like, I wonder, because I don't think I am. I still don't think I am. I think, like, this is fine. I do think it's fine. What do you think? I mean, obviously you in chat don't think I'm bullying him, do you? Like, but like, it's kind of fine, isn't it, that this is happening?
I wear clothes from IKEA.
I wear clothes from IKEA. Did he just say I wear clothes from IKEA?